Hello and welcome back to a new video on my channel. In this video I would like to talk about different mistakes that you can do when building up an astrophotography setup for astrophotography. So in this video I would like to go through these different mistakes and help you how to build up an astrophotography setup. Unfortunately, a lot of people are doing these mistakes, and unfortunately when doing these mistakes your results will not be that good in deep sky astrophotography. Therefore it was very important for me to share these mistakes with you. Mistake number one is about the tripod. So the tripod is a very important part of your deep sky astrophotography setup, and it's very important that your tripod is able to carry the entire equipment you have mounted on your tripod. And unfortunately a lot of people pay not enough attention to the tripod. Therefore, when trying to build up an astrophotography setup, definitely make sure that your tripod is big enough for carrying your entire equipment, because when your tripod has not enough stability, your entire equipment will move all the time and you will not get sharp images of the night sky. So especially if it's windy, your equipment will move all the time when your tripod doesn't have enough stability. Therefore, definitely try to buy a tripod that is big enough for your astrophotography setup. Mistake number two is about your camera. And unfortunately, people just buy a normal DSLR camera for astrophotography and then they try to do deep sky astrophotography with these cameras. That's definitely possible, so you can capture amazing images of the night sky with a normal DSLR camera. But when planning to buy a DSLR camera for astrophotography, definitely make sure to buy an astro-modified DSLR camera. So that's a mistake that a lot of people do. So they just use a normal DSLR camera, and these normal DSLR cameras, they do have built-in filters that block H-alpha, and we would like to capture that H-alpha. Therefore, definitely try to buy an astro-modified DSLR camera, because that will help you to capture that important H-alpha that is very important when planning to do deep sky astrophotography. So when planning to buy a DSLR camera for astrophotography, definitely try to buy an astro-modified DSLR camera. The next mistake that a lot of beginners do is that they overload their tripod or their tracking mount. So in this case I'm using a very portable star tracker, and it's very important to not put a lot of camera equipment on that one. So usually I recommend to only use 60% of the payload capacity of your tracking mount. That's very important because often beginners put a lot of camera equipment and heavy telescopes on these tracking mounts, but sometimes these tracking mounts are not suitable for these very heavy telescopes. Therefore, definitely try to not overload your tracking mount, because when you overload your tracking mount will not track the night sky that correctly, and that will result in star trails in the image. But in astrophotography you would like to have round stars, and therefore definitely try to not overload your tracking mount in deep sky astrophotography. The next mistake that a lot of beginners do is not balancing their equipment correctly. In astrophotography, especially when using these tracking mounts, it's very important to correctly balance your entire equipment. So in this case I've attached a counterweight to this setup in order to balance this entire setup, and that's very important because I often see that beginners try to put very heavy equipment on their tracking mount, but when your tracking mount is not balanced correctly, that's not that good, because then the motors in there have to work very hard in order to move the entire setup that is attached to your tracking mount. And therefore, when your tracking mount is not balanced correctly, you will get star trails in your image, which is not good in deep sky astrophotography. The next mistake that a lot of beginners do when building up their very first astrophotography setup is that they start with very high focal length. And for sure you can start with very high focal length, but a longer focal length means that the tracking has to be even more precise. And furthermore, when using these very long focal length, the pole alignment process has to be perfect. So definitely it will be easier for you to start with a relatively short focal length into the hobby of astrophotography. So for example, this setup is great to get started into the hobby of astrophotography. So the lens I'm using on this setup is the 75 to 300mm lens, and that one is perfect for deep sky astrophotography because it will be easier for you to achieve perfect tracking. I personally started into the hobby of astrophotography with a relatively long focal length, therefore it was very challenging for me in the beginning to capture amazing images of the night sky, but after practicing for a long time, finally I was able to capture amazing images of the night sky. But it will definitely be easier for you when starting with a shorter focal length into the hobby of astrophotography. Another mistake I often see is about the camera that you're attaching to your lens or to your telescope, for example. So when talking about these DSLR cameras, there are two main sensors that are built in. There are those full-frame cameras and these APS-C sensors, and there's a big difference between these different sensors. So for sure a full-frame camera is better for astrophotography, but the problem is that most lenses or most telescopes are not suitable for full-frame cameras, and I often see that people use a full frame camera in combination with a lens that is not suitable for full frame cameras. And that is a mistake I often see. So I often see that people are trying to use a Canon EOS 6D, for example, which is a full frame camera in combination with a lens or telescope that is not suitable for full frame cameras. So it's definitely possible, but especially in the beginning, it will be very challenging for you to process these images because the corners and the edges will be relatively dark compared to the center of your image, and therefore it will be very challenging for you to process these images in post-processing. Therefore, definitely try to buy a camera that is suitable for your lens or for your telescope. The next mistake I often see is that people buy a Newtonian telescope or a refractor telescope and they do not use a flattener or a chroma corrector. And that is a big mistake, because when using Newtonian telescopes, it's very important to use a chroma corrector, and on the other side, when using those refractor telescopes, it's very important to use a flattener. And that is very important, because when not using these correctors, the stars in your edges will not be that sharp, and they will look like star trails and like comets. And that's a big mistake, because often you have to crop your image a lot in order to only use the framing of your image where the stars are the best, and then you crop your image, and in the end your image will not be that good. Therefore, I definitely recommend to use a chroma corrector when planning to buy a Newtonian telescope, and on the other side I recommend to buy a flattener when trying to use a refractor telescope for deep sky astrophotography. So these are the mistakes I plan to share with you. So these are mistakes that a lot of people do in astrophotography, and unfortunately these mistakes will limit your results in astrophotography. Therefore, it was very important for me to share these mistakes with you. If you know other mistakes, definitely feel free to share them down below in the comments, because that will help other astrophotographers when planning to start this hobby. And on the other side, if you have any further questions, definitely feel free to ask me down below in the comments, and I will definitely help you. At the end of the video, I just wanted to quickly share some information about the upcoming video on my astrophotography trip to La Palma. I've been working on the video over the past few days, and I'm planning to publish the video this Sunday. On La Palma, I was able to capture some of my best images of the Milky Way. In the video about this trip, I want to show you how I took each of the photos, and of course share some pictures and videos of the island, especially of the telescopes on La Palma. For sure, I will also show some of the images I've captured with my telescope of deep sky objects. In the future, I also plan to publish a video about the best places on La Palma to photograph the Milky Way. Once I've published that video, I will link it at the end of this video. And if this video was interesting and helpful to you, I would really appreciate a like and a subscription. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, clear skies, Felix.